it's still a little early for me because we've just started on the process, so I haven't had too many objections or opportunities for people to have objections. But a lot of the times I find the reaction is they're just silent. Like they just kind of nod their heads and go, oh, and they either think that there's something in it for us for them to do this, or they think that I'm a crazy nut green person. I'm not sure. Like Holly said, I'm surprised at the people who didn't investigate more. People who are contractors on homes.
Yeah.
People who do this for a living. People who could possibly get into this as an industry, recommend it to their clients if they're servicing their houses. And I'm not sure what that is, other than I think maybe people are just challenged to accept something that's new. They're so used to the way it's been done, and particularly in this community, you know, we have a lot of turn of the previous century homes with radiant heat and boilers and all this stuff, and I think people are still in the mind that, you know, you got to get oil pumped into the ground just to make the house work, and how is anything else going to work? And I think that until it starts happening and people see it, they're not going to investigate. Until they start seeing solar panels on the roof and they come up to you and go, what's that about? How does that work? Mm-hmm. What does it actually cost you? What are you making? I think that's going to really be what changes residential energy consumption. Until then, it's a little bit like, yeah. Unless you're hooked in by some terrible flyer at Home Depot.
Well, I also think that people, they still see it as this big thing. And until they're able to, you know, hone it in and see that it's, and break it down into the different elements that you have to understand, the layers that you have to understand about it, and make it smaller, I think then it's more, you're able to absorb it a little better. I know that that's what it was for me when we had the meeting with Matt. I really had to go, okay, don't think of it as this big thing. Think smaller, and especially again in this community, you know, I think it was a good point. You turn to the century homes, and we still worry about the other things that are part of owning an older home, and it is such a much bigger, newer, more contemporary, and I don't want to say outer space-ish, but that kind of thing. You know, where you keep thinking of it as this big, overwhelming thing, and it's really not. It just needs to be broken down and made more
simple. And the irony is we have to go this way. We have to go to alternative fuels as an industry, as a country, as a world, because we only have limited resources with the current energy supplies.